Hello everyone, my name is Bhavesh Chakor and today's my video topic is MVC architecture and REST architecture. Let's begin with the MVC architecture. Over the past few years, the website design has been changed drastically. Previously, the website design was only with the HTML and bit of a CSS, but nowadays the website consists of a very complex designs and very various elements and attributes in it. So for this, a developer uses the design pattern to lay out their project. The most popular design pattern is the MVC, that is Module View Controller. So this MVC framework is a design pattern that contains of various components, and it defines the set of rules for this web development. So this MVC component distributes or classifies the or divides the uh, application into three major sections like a module, view, and controller. Each of this section has its own aspect or own application. Now, the previously the MVC was useful for only the GUI, that is graphical user interface. But nowadays it is the most popular among the web designs. Now, this MVC. Let's start with the components of this MVC. First, it's a controller component. So this controller component is responsible for uh, transferring the data between the model and the view. So this controller act as an intermediate medium between the two of them. Then the controller does not have to worry about the data logic, whether the data is how the data is flowing, and it is retrieving from the database. The controller only, it just tells the module that what module has to be do. So module has to be done, so it just tells module that this has to be done by you. So this controller talks only tells a module about the its work, and it contains the business logic, the actual Java logic or the Java programming is written inside this controller. Then next is the view component. So this view component is responsible for the user interface. So it actually creates the view or the view for the user. But this view is not made alone. The data is involved in the view. So the data which is retrieved from the model or the retrieved from the database is combined with the structure, and then it is shows as a view to the user. But this view does not take the data directly from the database or directly from the model. This data is passed on through the controller, and then controller transfer this data to the view. Again, this controller act as an intermediate between the model and the view. Then the last component is the model. So this model is the main component, or its actual use is to handle the data logic. So the data logic means it actually handles the how the data is going to be stored in the database and how it is retrieving. Also, the model also works for the database. For example, if end user is requesting from some student list which is stored in a database, then at that time this request will be carried out to the controller as a HTTP request. Then this controller will ask model to get that list from the database. Model will take that request from the database from the controller, will run a query and will carry out the list, and it will transfer to the controller. Then controller will ask view to bring out the view which is present for that particular list. Then it will transfer that list to the view will bring out the view or the structure for that particular list. It will create a HTML file which is readable by browser, and finally the controller will display that readable file to the browser, and that's how the MVC architecture works. Now moving on to the REST architecture. So this REST stands for the representational state transfer architecture. So this REST is a software architecture that defines some set of rules for the web services. If some web services are using this REST or following these defined rules, then it is also known as the RESTfulness. Now the RESTfulness have some constraints in it. Like there are total 6 constraints. Some are like user user interface, or stateless, or cacheable, code on demand. So among this various constraint, the code on demand is optional. Even if it is not present, then it will not affect the restfulness properties. But if other constraints are not present, then it will not be a restfulness. So this user interface will define the actual differentiate between the REST APIs and non-REST APIs. Then this stateless defines, so if one request is carrying out some data within it, so it's not database responsibility to store that particular request. The request will store that history of this request in itself. Then next one, so after this, the next one is a cacheable. So the cacheable will store the data, every data which is not even a cacheable data. And last one, that is a code on demand. So as I already told you, that code on demand is optional, uh, like is unlike from the other constraints of this REST architecture. And that's it with the MVC architecture and REST architecture. Thank you.